Welcome back to Wise Hearts Garden. Thank you so much for joining me. Here, Wise Hearts Garden is um, a space it's where we plant seeds to grow you. We plant seeds for transformation, we plant seeds for empowerment and self love. And so I like to share um, things that I have tried in this space in hopes that it will impact other lives. I don't know how that shows up, but my job is just to be here. So that's what I'm doing. And today I want to share a bit about my personal journey and what it looks like for me to consciously choose change, something that I have uh, been afraid of, been fearful of in my life, and now part of my work, transformation work, is to be more conscious, to be more aware of those parts of myself. So, um, yeah, I am working to expand and to grow into this next iteration of who WIDA is. And so lately, I have been sitting with a deep desire to change my life. And not just on an external level, but internally as well, because now I understand that whatever is happening internally is reflected to me in my external world. It shows up, I manifest it. And so, um, yeah, so just looking at how I think, how I respond, and how I choose myself on a daily basis is so important. And so, what I'm learning is that change does not just come from like one moment. It comes from the consistent choice to choose myself over and over again. And so, every day we have so many opportunities to be with ourselves, to choose ourselves. And so, what's really important for me is also recognizing that I really have to be in a grounded place to be able to be curious, to be in self energy, to be open to possibility. And so I wanted just to talk about that for a moment. So, what that looks like for me, the grounding is a choice to meditate, to do visualizations, to, when I do the visualizations, to really get in a place of using my imagination and how it feels to have the life that I want to grow into. And so the meditation and visualization are huge. Taking care of myself and how I nourish myself, which, I watch what I consume, and that could be conversations that don't feel nourishing, making sure that I have movement for my body because that feels nourishing for me, looking at also what type of foods I consume. I'm really working with, again, being intuitive and open and experimenting, exploring different things. And so I have to really work to make sure, because when you're fearful or guarded, you're not feeling your best and you're not really open to being curious. You're really trying to protect yourself. And so, and also, I'm working to align my choices with my values, which I was already looking at my values, but not in the way that coming to Ecuador and going through these healing cycles with the social tech framework really allowed me to kind of immerse myself in thinking about my values. So, just like the other day, I was out and I was thinking there's a place here called Tuto Freddo that I really enjoy their ice cream. And I think I had done some type of work that day, and I was thinking, this is how I'm going to reward myself. And so, just in that moment, I came back to myself because the awareness flag popped up. And I was like, okay, does this align with my values right now? And also looking at what are the costs if I do this? What are my wins, my losses? And I made a decision in that moment not to go to get the ice cream. And it's just interesting, like from day to day, where I am, because then at another point, I did get the ice cream, and I savored it, I enjoyed it, and I luxuriated in the experience of having the ice cream because I really enjoy it. So doing these things have really helped me just to be more aware of myself, and also the unlearning of old patterns, of looking at my patterns and beliefs. I've also been looking at how I was socialized. I was socialized in a very binary way. Something was either good or bad, right or wrong. And I especially, think about um, a lot of ways that I was socialized. I'm thinking about religion specifically, because I was basically taught there's one way and you don't question that. And so for me, I did have questions because I just remember being a little older and thinking that feels like social control. And I have questions. And so, um, but yeah, I grew up in that space. And I also didn't, I was told to be quiet and I learned to quiet myself. So I internalized that message, and now I'm doing something different, because it didn't always feel safe for me to question things. And I am a whole grown woman. so so now I'm really working to unlearn lots of patterns and beliefs that I have accumulated over decades, really working on that. And so I'm observing my thoughts instead of immediately believing them. I'm asking myself, is this mine? Because so many things, so many beliefs, they haven't been mine. And I don't know how that feels for you, if you've questioned things. But for me now, it's evident that a lot of beliefs that I have carried forward were not mine. And it feels really good to be in this place of being curious about what I really believe. And so all of those things are shifting for me. And I don't know who to attribute the quote to, but there's a quote that talks about mastering yourself. And that stays with me because I really want to be able to come back to how I'm thinking in real time and make decisions, because I'm not always able to do that. It just depends on what's happening. And so I really like being in this space of just having some time to be aware, to be more aware. And self mastery is not about control or perfection, or that's my belief. It's more about awareness. And so my awareness is growing, and I'm noticing my patterns. I'm choosing differently. Um, I'm also redirecting myself and trying to do that in a gentle way. And for me, it looks just like making the daily choice to choose myself. So that's why I talk about self love. You know, um, I think about what it is I need in any given moment, or what I need in a particular day, and work to make those things a reality for myself. And so that's why I talk so much about self love, because for me, self love is active, and it is in my choosing, in my reparenting myself, in meeting myself with compassion, in allowing myself to be human and to be imperfect, and to make new choices, even when they feel unfamiliar. even when they stretch me. This is stretching me to show up here. And so, me coming to Ecuador to be a part of the Global Underground Railroad Leadership Team, specifically with the Woman Healed Together initiative, is stretching me. And I said yes. And I've been feeling all the feels. I've had all types of sensorial experiences, because I'm also aware that I'm saying yes. And I'm also really aware of saying yes, how that shows up for me, how that feels different for me, and and giving myself grace and giving myself love when I am feeling all these things. Because for years I've tried to silence and not acknowledge what I was feeling. And so coming to Ecuador is very unfamiliar. Even though I came last year, I came to do a different type of work. And this year I have what feels like more freedom to do a little bit more. And so um, coming here was also an aligned choice to do the work that I feel like I'm called to do in this life, which is service, which is to support and to guide others that are also transforming their lives, other women that are making new choices or desiring to make new choices and looking for ways to do that. And so, being here, being with other women that are committed to this work, feels really, the word that keeps coming is nourishing for me, but it aligned, um, and and I'm in gratitude for the invitation to come and to be a part of this. And so, allowing myself to live into my values around community and connection and service and integrity and um, communication, and all of these things are very important. And so I just wanted to share a little more about that. um, Being here has allowed me to slow down, which I absolutely love, especially with everything that's going on in the world. It's nice to move differently, to listen more deeply, and to really live into this work. And so, uh, a lot of times people talk about being someone new. I I have different thoughts about that. So I don't know if it's a totally new person that I'm working to be, or if it's just the next iteration in my evolution of who I am. And so I definitely know that I am working to, yeah, move into a new phase of life. And so if you're in a season of change too, I just want to offer this. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have it all figured out. I definitely don't. But you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to um, take care of yourself in new ways, to stay open, and um, and I believe also to trust that everything is going to work out for you. When I stay in that space, things just they start flowing. When I'm like telling myself everything is always working out for me. And so I remember hearing Abraham Hicks say that. I believe Louise Hay, and then like some of the people that I would say are my teachers now, um, are saying the same things, and how synchronicities just show up for you. And so I think trust is a huge thing. And so that again comes back to me unlearning things, beliefs that I had where it was like everything was a struggle and you have to work really hard. And even though prayer felt like begging to me, and it really didn't feel like trust. It didn't feel like trust. And so now I'm just at a different place, but I'm just want to encourage you to keep choosing yourself. And thank you for being here today. I think that's all I have that wanted to come forth. If you haven't already, if you're still here, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I can't wait to be with you again. Take good care of yourself and definitely love on yourself as much as you can. All right, till next time.